Mudlarking here with Nicole and Craig. We made it to the Baltic Sea. We left early this morning and here we are. Now sadly it's drizzling a little bit, but that doesn't deter us. So this is our first time at the Baltic Sea and we're very eager to try and find a few treasures. Now let's see what we can find. So apparently this is the way to the beach. It really doesn't look anything like any other way to the beach we've had before. And you might be able to also hear that it's actually raining at the moment.
Bit dreich.
Yeah. Oh look, it says Strand there. Strand, that's beach in German. So we're going to have to make a left here. Yeah.
And weirdly enough, the Baltic Sea looks like it's actually quite far in at the minute. So, this is it, we're at the Baltic Sea. And this is the first time we've been anywhere near a beach or the ocean for a couple of months. You can see it's a bit of a dreich day, but it's beautiful to hear the waves. I'm going to take just a wee second to enjoy the waves. See the big breakers all the way up the beach there. I don't know if you can make it out. There's a wee pier. Now we might try and go up there a little bit later on, we'll see. At the minute though, what we're hoping is that this weather is going to subside, but I don't know. Now normally the waves wouldn't be anywhere near in this far. You can normally, if you look at pictures of the Baltic Sea, you'll see that the waves aren't even up at the breakers. So it's because of the dreich and offy weather that we're having now, that we've got well, quite high seas, I guess, for the Baltic coast. But let's just take 2 seconds and sit down and watch the waves. Oh, just about got caught there. Anyway, according to Nicole, we're going to be heading up in that direction.
Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. I can't wait.
Well, there's our first beach find. It's a seagull. Going to head over that way towards the breakers. But what we'll do is we'll cast our eyes to the ground. You can see it's a very sandy beach. Now there's wee things like this. I don't know what this is. It's a wee bit of kind of quartzy stone.
Oh, that's very pretty. It almost looks like the marble in our bathroom. Very nice.
We have a marbly bathroom, folks.
Yeah, now
just
we
in
do.
Case you hadn't picked up on that, what Nicole was saying. I'll pop that back down. It's just a wee stone there. We're not going to collect stones. We're on the lookout for various things. Nicole's going to let you know what we're looking for. Other than that seagull.
Yeah, that's a young one. Yeah, but it's a lot bigger than the Scottish ones.
Yeah. Now, at the moment, I'm guessing we're really looking for and hoping for a day where the weather's going to be a wee bit better. There's lots of wee stones and bits and bobs down here, and I can see what looks like an agate down there as well.
Oh yeah,
so
maybe like a jasper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar. There are lots of really interesting stones and fossils here on the Baltic Sea. So well, we'll maybe take a couple of these reddish looking ones and
yeah, we'll see what else we can find, eh? You know, it's an exploratory mission today. It's just a wee introduction to this part of the world. We've never been here before, we don't know what we're going to find, so you'll be finding it with us. There's another wee sort of like
ooh. Well, that's a flint, and you know, like they're basically they're called Feuersteins or Feuerstones in German, and much like you had in the UK, you can make fire if you get them, rub them together properly.
That's not quite how it works, folks. Anybody who's started a fire before with a flint and an iron will know this. Nicole's just spotted a wee shell there, wee mussel shells. I was trying to get us into the sea there. We'll stop here and we'll admire this wee mussel shell first though.
Oh yeah, I might take that one. See, it's almost like it's the first find of the day and it's in perfect condition. So we'll take that one, and we'll also have a look. There's another wee shell there, so we could take that one.
There's something else right in front of your eye. I'm not sure if it's what I think it is. It's this thing here.
Oh, what is that?
It's an interesting wee stone. Maybe you can pick that up and we'll take a closer look at it.
Alright, let's see. I can't really see what it is. It looks a bit like a shell.
Rub. Give that a wee clean and we'll see.
Okay.
It's quite shiny. It's an interesting wee stone. Not quite sure what it is.
Yeah, there's a couple of wee lines on there. It does look like a shell, but maybe it's a fossilized shell or something like that. Ooh. Oh, there's a,
it's a crow.
It's a crow.
The crows have followed us all the way from Kirkcaldy. Now I'm going to come down here, and I hope you can hear me over the sea, because it's actually a lot noisier than I thought it was going to be. Not least so because we've got quite a bit of wind. So there's a lot of stones and pebbles here. So rock hounds, feast your eyes. See what we can see here. Now that one's quite an interesting wee colour.
Oh yeah, oh that's very pretty. Do you think that might be a type of granite maybe?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's sort of, it almost looks like a strawberry, right? It's red and has little black dots on it.
It's really nice, it's a beautiful wee stone.
Yeah, you know that? I'm seeing like the body of a turtle. See, if you imagine, you could use that and that could be a turtle body.
Swimming away off into the Baltic Sea.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be awfully cold.
Very pretty.
Anyway, we'll pop that back down. But as I say, so far, it's pebbles galore and not an awful lot else. But we've been promised that there are some things that we can find further up the coast. So what we're going to do is march on, see if we can find them. But there's lots of interest in the geological finds here. Lots of these crystalline stones. Now I'm not sure if that's a kind of quartz or exactly what that is, but there's lots of very pretty wee stones.
Yeah, they are. They are very pretty. They do look like little landscapes in itself. Now this one is really pretty, I think, because when it's wet, it's sort of beige and it has a couple of dots on there. It looks like it's super smooth. It almost looks like something you can just hold in your hand and be sort of, you know, peaceful.
A comfort stone. We'll call it a comfort stone. There you go, there's your comfort stone. Now, we're going to head up this way, past where that heron is, which you probably can't see because it's so far away at the minute. But we're going to head up in that direction. It's amazing actually, despite the fact that it's a really dreich day, people who've come here are out at the coast. There even be kids doing a very Scottish thing, splashing about in the Baltic Seas. Other people flying kites and whatnot, but it's not what we're here for. We don't have a kite. Instead, we're on the search for sea glass and other treasures. And as I say, I mean, this is our first time here, so over the next coming weeks and months, we're going to be making return trips here, and there's a whole bunch of things that Nicole has decided she's going to keep an eye out for. Now whether or not we're lucky enough to find those or not, time only will tell. For the minute though, I'm going to turn the camera off. We're going to take a wee wander right up in that direction and we'll catch up you when we get there.
Now I've decided that there's a lot of gravel here and I want to have a look here and see what we can find there. Now I'm kind of hoping that we might find a little tiny piece of sea glass here. Now it's our first time here at the Baltic Sea and we really don't know what to expect, but we have a fair idea. Now if you look all the way down here, you can see there's a long stretch of gravel here, and in Scotland that usually means you can find lots of treasure there. Now there's one thing here that I've just caught my eye, and it's this thing that looks a little bit like a coin. It's a pebble. It's really pretty actually. It looks like there's almost an enclosed animal in it. I'm gonna take that. I don't know what it is, but it's really pretty, and if something catches my eye, I found that it's better just to take it. Okay, see what else is here. There's a little stone right at my feet. That's also quite pretty. I think all the stones here are really pretty. Whoa! Okay, that was close. Okay, I'm not quite used to the waves here at the Baltic Sea just yet, but I guess I'm gonna get used to them quite quickly. Now there's a really large flintstone here. It's quite big. Okay, that's my feet drenched now. Brilliant. Okay, luckily I've brought a second pair of shoes, but for today I'm just going to walk around with wet feet. So let's see, there's something here. I don't know what this is. It's an oblong thing. Oh, that's really cool. Look, this might actually be a fossil. It looks like there's a couple of enclosed items in there, like little pieces of grass maybe. Oh, I think we should definitely take that. That is very cool, and maybe we can take a close-up on my phone so you can see it better. This really looks like there's lots of fossils in there.
Now, as always, it's these wee pile-ups of stones that we're looking for. Nicole's just pointed that out. Now, I think this is flint. I'm going to guess that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's calcified over the top, but if we were to break that open, it would be shiny and black. And yeah, again, if we had a steel, we could start a fire. But we're not going to start a fire.
No.
It'd be challenging the day, actually.
Yeah.
You know, with all this rain and the wind and whatnot. But anyway, there you go, there's lots and lots and lots of flint actually.
Yeah.
So there's an absolute ton of flint. Again, you know what we might have to do, it looks like glass, right?
Yeah, it does. Look, I found this bit here and I thought cool. It was a claw. It reminded me of the crab claws we used to find. Now we really have to be quite careful, I found. I've already drenched my foot. The water does come up.
I'll pass that back to Nicole. Now just let's have a wee look there. You could almost mistake that for green glass. I'm not sure if you can see the tint of light kind of coming through that or not. They're quite beautiful. Not really the kind of thing that we'd collect usually, but you know, there's so much of it around here. There's another piece of flint just down there.
That is a very pretty one though.
Oops, got to watch that sea. It's going to creep up on us, drench us. There's lots of it around, as I say. You've just got to keep your eye out for it. Now there's another bit of flint down there. Another really large piece.
Yeah, that is very pretty. But look, if you look down there, there's two other really pretty rocks. One has spots and the other one has stripes. Now I'm going to try and judge the waves here. So I'm going to pick this one up and this one, and we'll hold it up a little bit further. Look, so whoops. So we've got a spotty and a stripy rock. Now I don't really know very much about these kind of pebbles, and if you do know what these kind of pebbles are, just please let us know in the comments.
I think there's kind of a lot of quartz and stuff in there. I don't know exactly what kind of quartz. That's kind of almost a rose quartz. It's kind of reddy brown in colour.
Now I've spotted something pink down there. I'm kind of assuming it might be a little shell. It's right here. Let's just quickly pick that up and have a look at it. It's a little shell. It kind of blends in with my finger a little bit here. It is definitely pink. It's really tiny. Very tiny, pretty wee pink shell. And there's another shell here. There's another mussel shell. There's just a blue and a pink shell. I'm not really sure what else we can find here. Let's see. Oh, look. Oh, that's pretty. This kind of looks a bit like it's an agate. There's a little kind of fleck of red in there, and otherwise it's black and white. It's really tiny. Almost reminds me of a wishing stone with an agate stuck in it. Now let's see. We'll go a little bit further up the coast here. There's a tiny wee shell there. So it's really fascinating, and this is obviously just our first video here, and it's a bit of an introduction what we might be able to find at the Baltic coast, because we haven't been here before, so you are basically exploring the coast with us. Okay, have a look up here. Now the rain's getting a little bit heavy, so it's relatively difficult to actually see what I'm looking at here, but it also means that it brings out these little treasures really quite well. What's this here? This is fascinating. Look, it's like a little weed almost. It's very round. think I'm gonna take that. Strange objects, round objects, maybe it's a tiny marble, who knows. Definitely gonna take that. Okay. Right. You can probably see that there's quite a lot of rain here, but there's also a lot of people here. I mean, for us, compared to Scotland, there are a lot of people here, although it's just maybe 5 people. But it's nobody's being deterred here from the coast, although it's really quite damp. Now this is quite pretty, and I'm wondering, is this another flint? It certainly looks like one. I think there might be some enclosures in here. That looks like a number 19 or something in there. Anybody see the 19? That's strange. I'm going to take that. Anything that looks weird, I have decided I'm going to take. No. I can't see any sea glass. There might be sea glass a little bit further up the coast. Actually, what was that there? Just here. What's this? Ah, no. It's a reflection. It's a little bit of algae. Okay, that is not sea glass. I should have known better. As someone who's looked for sea glass for about 15 years, I should have really been able to spot that that was a bit of algae and not sea glass. Okay, let's have a look. We'll get a bit closer so you can get a really nice, good look at all these fascinating pebbles. Lots of red ones here. Oh, this almost looks like the one that I found earlier. It's kind of beigey looking one. It looks like it's severed. Maybe it's another type of flint. Pretty. What's this thing? Oh, now that's something. Look, can you see it? It's the heart of the sea. So we found a heart-shaped flint. That is really cool. So maybe that's our best find of the day. Although I think our best find of the day is actually here at the sea. We managed to get here. We are here at the coast, and we've really been looking forward to being by the coast again. We had hoped for slightly better weather, but who knows? Maybe the next time we'll get some sunshine. Now, eyes to the ground again. Let's see what we can find here. Now, like I said, this is our first time here, and I've actually been following lots of collectors here from the Baltic Sea for years and years, and I've googled over their amazing finds here from the coast. So I kind of have a vague idea what you could be able to find, and I've seen them on Instagram, and I very much like them. And so, ooh, what was that? Some squishy. I think it's not just another bit of algae. So yeah, I've looked at all these finds, and you can find really fascinating, lots of fossils and sparkly, something that's called a Baltic jade. It's a very fascinating stone, and we'll tell you a little bit about all the other pieces of fossils and finds that you can make here at the Baltic coast a little later on.
Not sure if you can see that, but there's some very sensible geese, and they're flying away because the weather here is about to get terrible.
There's some ducks. They don't care about the rain. They're ducks. My mum used to always say, doesn't matter, rain doesn't matter. I'm not made out of sugar. I won't melt in the rain. So, yep. Yes. I'll take it from here. Perseverance. Maybe the slight wind in the air will help dry my clothes. Now, I'm just gonna maybe show you. It's somewhat drenched today. This is a raincoat, and I think it's drenched as well. So, but you know, we're here, and well, it's our first video here at the Baltic Sea, and we are planning to come back and oh, now seeing that we're here. It's Friday today. Now we've got so many questions. Are you going to do another advent calendar this year? And the answer is yes. We have 10 advent calendars available. They are only going to be on my website. The link is in the description. It's tiliabythesea.com, and they're going live today. Now there's only going to be ever 10, no more, no less. And well, if you want one, there's some really amazing treasures in there today. I will try and insert some photos. I've got some Russian sea glass, I've got some sea glass from Devonport, which is the world's most dangerous beach to get some sea glass from. There's some Spanish yellow sea glass, and lots of other treasures that I have brought over all the way from Scotland to Germany, and they are in that advent calendar. Now, let's see if we can maybe find another couple of treasures.
Well, come to the beach, they said. It's going to be glorious. Well, thankfully, you know, the rain seems to have stopped for the minute, and as we said earlier, we're going to try and make our way up that way for a wee while. Hopefully the rain's going to stay off now. It's still windy, we're absolutely drenched to the bone, so you know, maybe a wee bit of good fortune should be sent our way for putting up with us punishing weather. Who knows, maybe we'll find a couple of wee treasures yet. But in the meantime though, it is kind of glorious to be by the waves again and to hear that wonderful noise. Still, one of the things that we were told about this place as well was there's no actual tides here in the Baltic Sea. Instead, what you get is weather surges, and I think what you can see is we're in the middle of a weather surge. Normally, as I said before, right down to the end of the breakers there, you'd be able to walk, but we can't today because the sea level has risen quite substantially, and it's quite a lot further up the beach than we expected it to be. Nonetheless, as I say, fortune has favoured the brave at least a wee bit, and there's a strong wind blowing. Maybe it'll help dry us off. We could use that. In the meantime, let's just march on. We'll see what we can find. Right at the minute though, I'll be lucky. I'm drenched and I can barely see a thing. My glasses are soaked, my raincoat is soaked through, my shoes are soaked. I think I'm making the point here that I'm a wee bit wet and miserable. Who would have guessed that would happen in the Baltic Sea, eh? Anywho, let's crack on.
Well, there's another wee bit of street, and I just want to have a last look before we head towards those cliffs I've been hearing about. Now, there's a wee pebble thingy here. Nothing here, okay. Not seeing very much here. There's another flint here.
And Nicole was just saying as well that we're seeing a lot of these mussel shells. Now we see them a lot in Scotland, and they're usually a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
Here, a lot of them are really tiny. There's like that's a green, a green shell.
A green shell. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to take that green shell and maybe this sort of stripy rock here. I don't think it's Ostseejade or jade from the Baltic Sea, but I'll take it anyway. And you know what I've just spotted?
Well, it's no this wee carnelian type thing, is it?
No, it's not.
But that's quite pretty.
That is pretty,
nonetheless.
Yeah, it looks like the viagis that we used to find in Teapot below the lighthouse.
Well, maybe hang on to that. I'm going to pass the camera to Nicole because Nicole's just spotted something, and it's the first find of the day.
Yep. Okay, let's see if you can see it too. It should be right in the centre of the screen, and I'm actually really excited. It's right there, and it looks like it's actually sea glass. Look at this. Can you believe it? It's actually sea glass. It appears to be a bottle bottom or a side of a bottle, and ta-da! It's the first ever piece of sea glass we found at the Baltic coast. Now, does that warrant a marble dance or a sea glass dance? It's a bit of sea glass. Yay, 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 we made it. I think. What do you think? Should I make that a necklace?
I think we're going to have to. You know,
Yeah.
beggars can't be choosers and all that, but it is a really nice wee bit of sea glass.
Yeah.
It's well weathered, it's nicely frosted and rather lovely, and it's given us pause to take another minute or two looking at all these wee mussel shells and hoping maybe we'll find another wee bit of sea glass here. You never know.
Well, maybe we're getting near an area where we might be a bit luckier now. I'm actually going to have to be quite quickly here because I've just spotted this here, and this looks like it's actually a bit of pottery. It is pottery, look. It's very nice, it's white. It looks like, let's try and see what that might be. It looks like it might be part of a plate, possibly. Well, I'm going to take this, but maybe if you're eagle-eyed, you spotted something right over there. Actually, it's there. And Craig spotted this one after I'd seen the piece of pottery. Now, look at that. It's another piece of sea glass. Haha. Oh, it doesn't have hair on it, or it's not a spider. Let's try and get this off here. Right, okay. There we go. That's two pieces from the Baltic coast. Now this one has a really nice pleasing shape. This one is a bit more rugged, but you know, it might become a plant pot or something in the near future in one of my other art projects. But this one, who knows? What do you reckon I should make with these two pieces? Let me know in the comments.
Well, you can see, maybe you can't, you can see a vast amount of rain over there. But what you can also see is the sun is beginning to poke through the clouds here. But you can maybe also tell that it's quite low in the sky at the moment. So we don't have a lot of time left. And I think where we're trying to get to might be a wee bit too far to walk this time. Maybe we'll have to come out the next time we're up here and just race right up to this end where you can see that woodland encroaching out onto the beach there, because we're told there's an area just a wee bit beyond that where we might actually have a bit of luck. But just now though, I think it's kind of just, we've said it a kind of dozen times now, we've been starved starved from the sea. We haven't seen it for a couple of months, and we're here on the Baltic coast. It's a miserable day, folks, but it has its beauty as well. And often it's the stormy weather that kind of really produces the waves and that noise that we just kind of love. That alone makes it worth getting out here.
Now it's really been a little bit of a washout. That said though, we found two pieces of sea glass and one piece of pottery. And I hear that is really quite special for this part of the Baltic coast. Now next time we come here, we're going to head over all the way down there where we hear there's some amazing treasures to be found, including some really rare fossils and some pieces I've got my hand set on. Only remains for me to say thank you so much for watching, liking and commenting. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a minute to subscribe. An extra special thanks goes out to everybody who's been supporting the channel, Etsy and your hobby donations. That makes a massive difference and it keeps the lights on. Now remember, we've got our advent calendars on my website.